Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good evening, I'm Jen Ah. Thanks for joining us on 7 at 7. Starting off with weather, sponsored by Star Nursery, your garden's partner for every blooming thing. Extreme caution is advised as the high wind warning continues throughout the night here in the Las Vegas Valley. Earlier today, we saw gusts reach up to 70 miles per hour in some areas. A very hazy Las Vegas strip with noisy gusts. As you can see, not a great hair day. Similar conditions with low visibility at Harry Reid International Airport and over in Henderson. The National Weather Service is issuing a rare warning to stay away from windows and avoid driving if possible. Also, be cautious of blowing dust and debris, unsecured items, and damage to trees and power lines. Tonight, the winds are still blowing at around 30 miles per hour. Temps are set to dip into the 50s overnight. Tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 63 and low of only 39 degrees. Gusts closer to 25 miles per hour. Moving on to Wednesday, little to no wind with highs in the 70s. On Thursday, your highs heat up to the upper 70s. Moving on to the 80s on Friday and through the weekend. In more top stories, sponsored by Nevada Hand's Silver Sky Assisted Living Community. Learn more at nevadahand.org. Las Vegas police are investigating a shooting involving an armed teen in an upscale community, the foothills in Spring Valley near Summerlin, around 6 this morning.
The injured male was in an argument in the street with at least one other individual. There was a neighbor who was out walking his dog at around the same time. That neighbor and the male who was shot at some point got involved in a verbal altercation.
Police say that neighbor walking the dog then shot the teen in the head, who's in critical condition in the hospital. The investigation is ongoing. In other news, new police body cam video shows a friend of former Raiders player Damon Arnette lying to police after a crash injured a woman back in October of 2020. Review-Journal's Renee Semmerauer has the video. And Renee, it shows actually one of the men is Henry Ruggs' younger brother.
Yes, Jen, that's right. His name is Cavante Ruggs, and along with Jonathan Washington, not only did one of them take the blame for the crash, but the other maintained that now ex-Raider Damon Arnette wasn't the driver, despite what witnesses told police.
Was he driving this vehicle? Or?
Oh, no, man, he wasn't. No, sir, he wasn't.
Was he in the vehicle?
Yes, I think he was in the passenger seat.
Arnette later told police that the younger Ruggs picked him up before officers arrived at the crash site and drove him to the nearby Raiders facility, saying he was late for a meeting. Ruggs then returned to the scene and spoke to the officers as the point person, even offering the lead investigating officer a jersey. Washington, who was riding with Arnette, initially took the blame for the crash.
Jonathan, are you telling us the truth?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
About you driving?
Yes, sir.
Hours after the wreck, Arnette admitted to police that he was the driver and said that he didn't ask Washington to lie.
He's trying to look out for me.
Okay. But you didn't tell him to do that?
Yeah, I'm good though.
Arnette was cited for failure to stay at the scene of a crash and improper lane change, both misdemeanors, and was cut from the Raiders in November after several off-field incidences. The injured woman sued Arnette on October 5th, 2021, about a month before the Henry Ruggs fatal crash. The lawsuit against Arnette is still ongoing. Jen?
In business, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability. A man is facing charges for running a 7-figure real estate investment scheme. Henderson police say 60-year-old Corey Sheeler forged documents on loan instruction contracts, deeds of trust, and an investor lost at least $2 million. Sheeler's attorney says he plans to plead not guilty and fight the charges. And right off the strip, here's a preview of the Palm's $600 million facelift. Nevada's largest sportsbook operator, William Hill, is expected to operate the Palm Sportsbook. The Nevada Gaming Commission recommended approving a non-restricted gaming license and is expected to consider final approval on April 21st, about a week before the resort's reopening on April 27th. In lifestyle, sponsored by Visit Laughlin, an easygoing getaway filled with good food, good people, and good times on the river. A Las Vegas classic reopens after being closed for 2 years. Top of BINION'S Steakhouse recently started welcoming guests back. Home to one of Las Vegas's most historical dining rooms, BINION'S first shut its doors during the pandemic. Guests can now return to enjoy favorites like chicken fried lobster. Now to the Great American Doggy Derby. Registration is open for pet owners and their pups. The event will take place at the Lights FC halftime during Saturday's match at the Cashman Field. Any dog owners can register at lightsfc.com.
Sports brought to you by Station Casinos STN Sports. Download the app today. The Raiders have officially reported for day one of the team's off-season program, and Raiders beat writer Vinny Bonsignore tells us there was a good attendance for the voluntary meetings.
Extremely high attendance, from what I was told. Of the players that are under contract on the roster right now, about 98% showed up, which is a good number for this time of year. And all the key players, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Chandler Jones, were all in attendance on the first day of what is a 2-week sort of phasing in period. They call it phase one, but it's a lot of conditioning and weight room work and some meetings. Nothing on the field just yet. So good attendance.
Sports betting sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. The #1 ranked golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler, made history on Sunday, winning his first career major at the 2022 Masters. Scheffler started the tournament at plus 1,400 and finished as the betting favorite at minus 225 according to DraftKings. He also became the first player since Arnold Palmer in 1960 to win 4 PGA Tour events in the short time span of 57 days.
In health, as we're seeing a slight uptick of COVID-19 cases in Clark County, one major city is putting precautions in place. Philadelphia is reinstating its indoor mask mandate starting April 18th. That's after confirmed cases rose more than 50% in 10 days there, according to health officials. Hopefully, Clark County doesn't suffer the same fate. In entertainment, Barry Manilow abruptly cancels his show at the Westgate just minutes before he was set to take the stage. Review Journal's John Katsimides explains why.
Superstar Barry Manilow was forced to cancel his show Saturday night at Westgate Las Vegas International Theater. What happened to Manilow? He was suffering from a cold, his voice was compromised, and he was unable to take the stage. This is word from his manager and husband, Gary Keefe. The audience learned of this 15 minutes before Manilow was due to go on stage. Those tickets will be either refunded or available for the April 21st show when Manilow does return to the Westgate. Meantime, his Broadway musical Harmony is opening this week in New York.
Plus, what the city of Las Vegas turning purple for BTS, Bora, as BTS Army likes to call it. There are 6 pop-up experiences where fans of the K-pop group can shop and take cute photos, including this BTS fan experience at Area 15 with exhibits, food, and limited merch. The event is free and open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. through April 17th. Thank you for watching 7 at 7. If you have Amazon Fire TV, just search Review Journal to download our channel. Watch Las Vegas breaking news streaming live on your OTT device. We'll see you tomorrow for more 7 at 7.
Review Journal Studio sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.